Good evening, everyone. Welcome back once again to Vicious Rants. And of course, I'm your host, your YouTube messiah, and often imitated, never duplicated superstar, Tim Vicious. And folks, not only am I the YouTube messiah and often imitated, never duplicated superstar, I am now your beloved WWE Lake Erie champion. Now, I know a lot of you are probably wondering, Tim, how did you win such a prestigious title? And well, I'll be happy to explain it to you. You see, picture it if you will. I'll set the stage for you. April 3rd, 2018. A cool, calm night in a lowly arena. Your beloved host competed, yes, I competed in a 50-man over-the-top battle royal. I was number 10, having to go after opponent after opponent after opponent to finally win this prestigious title, which was presented to me by Pat Patterson, the first Intercontinental Champion. And upon presenting it to me, in the back, he showed me the highlight reel of when he won the Intercontinental title himself. And folks, this is not just a prop, this is not just a gimmick, because I am a fighting champion, and the following night I defended this title in a 12-man gauntlet match, and as you can see, I still am the champ. And I am a fighting champion, so if anyone ever wishes to challenge me for the WWE Lake Erie title, my door's always open. Now, with that said, let's get on with the show. WrestleMania in New Orleans, Louisiana, and I'm not gonna lie, I love this show. I liked it a lot. A lot of people were kind of shitting on it like, oh, well, this happened. I didn't like the ending for this. This could have been better. You know, that can always be said about any show, period. You know, I guarantee if you put 10 smarky little pricks all in one room watching a New Japan show that Dave fucking Meltzer gave 10 3/4 stars to, you know, they'd be like, well, this was good, but they should have done this instead. You know, you can't please everyone, so that's the nature of the beast. Point being, this was probably one of my favorite WrestleManias, right up there with 19, which I gotta say, 19 is very much so underrated, a lot like this one. Now, with that said, let's start off with the show. Started out with the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. A lot of guys, a lot of action, a lot of flying, a lot of bodies flying over the rope. Of course, not as many as, you know, bodies that had to fly over to get this baby. But yeah, it was pretty decent. I liked it, you know, and probably the thing that really stood out for me was Goldust with the polka dots on his suit and the paint, you know, just like doing for his dear old daddy. The American Dream, that's a rose, baby. The American Dream, the son of a plumber. I had a dream once, my eyes got told, if you got a dream, you hold on to it, and baby, don't you ever let go, and that is what Dusty Rose did, baby. And that is why Dusty Rose, the American Dream, is one of the greatest wrestlers alive or dead, baby. And that being said, moving forward with the match, that was my Dusty Rhodes impression for the night, folks. Probably throw a few more out along the way, but the final three, yes, I'm only mentioning the last three in the Battle Royal fucking Baron Corbin, Mojo fucking Rawley, props to my boy Axel Mulligan for that nickname, and Matt Hardy. And upon, literally, like, just as it came down to them three, boom, Mojo was out, which case, there is a God And then, just as it looked like Baron and Matt were about to go at it, got that creepy Bray Wyatt, ah! And then the lights went off, went back on. Bray Wyatt appeared out of nowhere, tossed out Baron Corbin. So now, Matt Hardy is your winner of the 2018 Andre the Giant Battle Royal. And they even explained it on the Monday Night Raw after Mania that the reason why Bray is like this now is because upon falling into the lake of reincarnation, he came out with the wicked wench, or not wench, with Sister Abigail cleansed from him. So, you know, and hopefully I'll be able to get into a little more about what they did on Raw later in the show. Gonna try to, can't make a guarantee, I don't want to give a guarantee in the event if I don't, so that way y'all don't wind up saying, oh, you didn't talk about this, fuck my video. Anyways, next matchup, Cruiserweight match, Cedric Alexander, Mustafa Ali, finals for the Cruiserweight tournament to crown the new Cruiserweight champion with Derek Maverick, Rockstar Spud ringside with the title. Of course that title's good, but hey, it's no Lake Erie title. Alright, that's the last time I'll put the belt. I'll put this title over for the night, folks. Alright? That I will promise you. But anyways, this, oh my god, this was a great match. I absolutely love this. Had Cruiserweight Classics feel all over. And I absolutely fucking loved it. Loved it. Great back and forth. Great storytelling. Oh, man. You know, and people can say, oh, well, it was on the pre-show, so they didn't care. No, it's not a matter of if they care. It's a matter of, think of it like this. You're building a show. Literally, it's a show. You're going to have certain parts happen at certain times. You can't have, you know, you can't have everything be the main event. You know, something's got to be a starting point. And these guys were a great starting point. My opinion, they set the bar for the rest of the show, for the rest of the guys after that to say, all right, this was the best match. This was the start of the show. Y'all need to pick up from there. Now, the ending, I loved the ending. I'll give away on how it happened right now. Cedric Alexander won, but the ending came to be, you know, big surprise. Both guys kicked out of each other's finishes and all that. But near the end, Cedric Alexander just had this look of, like this look of frustration, like, what do I got to do to finish you? And then he hit him with the lumbar check, got the 1, 2, 3, and boom, that was it. Right after the 3 count, you know, you see him hugging Mustafa Ali, just like that. And honest to God, first thought right off bat was Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels. What Shawn, looking right at him. Looking right at Rick, I'm sorry, I love you. That was what I thought right there. Like, that was it. That's their moment. And, you know, seeing Cedric Alexander, you know, considering where Cedric Alexander was a few years ago, and I'm not saying this in a negative way, going from CNC Russell Factory and Ring of Honor to where he is now, it's just so great to see where he has come. The man deserves everything he got. He's getting and has going forward for him. And you know, this is going to help move 205 Live to bigger and better. And you know, I say this a lot with the Cruiserweight show. You know, it takes time to build it. It takes time to build to the level of a show that like shows like Raw or SmackDown or NXT are. You know, it's not going to happen just like that. No, it takes time, takes patience, just like with anything else if you want to build something. Now, that being said, next match, Women's Battle Royal, and well, the way this started out, it was really kind of weird because, you know on how, like, when you're about to go, when, like, back in school, in the schoolyard, right before all the kids would go and beat the shit out of you, you know, they would all pit around in a big giant circle? No? Just me? Oh, fuck. Alright, well, anyways, that's on how it was at first. Because Carmella was in there. She was bragging about on how she's still Miss Money in the Bank and the longest reigning Money in the Bank contract holder in the history of the company now. And then they proceeded to stomp the shit out of her and then toss her over. After that, then they put in Dana Brooke. Dana went over. Then they put in Kairi Sane, which, oh, no. That did not go well because there were other NXT girls in there too, and whoo, man, oh man, did the NXT girls kick some serious ass in there. You know, just, whew, nice. You know, and yeah, good action all around, really liked it, you know, and thank God the finals was not what I was expecting it to be. I was expecting the finals to be it coming down to the end between Sasha and Bayley, and it looked like it, you know, and Bayley threw Sasha over, which case, okay, yeah, we're going to get a fallout match with them, probably coming up at the next pay-per-view at Backlash, but, you know, after that, then they realized, oh wait, Naomi was only tossed out under the top rope, so she wasn't technically eliminated. Naomi came back in, threw a few shots at Bayley, and then did that ass slap move thing she does to eliminate Bayley, which case then she was eliminated. So Naomi is your inaugural Women's Battle Royal winner. Just don't tell Santino Marella's sister, Santina Marella, that, you know, she may get mad and such. But anyways, on to the main show now. First matchup, triple threat match for the Intercontinental title. Seth Rollins coming out looking like a White Walker, whatever that is. I don't know, I don't watch Game of Thrones. Don't judge. Seth Rollins coming out, Miz coming out, had freaking holograms floating all around everywhere, which was fucking awesome. And then Finn Balor coming out with, you know, with the Rainbow Pride shirt, jacket, you know, with a group of people. Really love them, what they're doing with the Finn Balor. The Balor Club is for everyone thing right now. You know, and not doing a cheap publicity, not trying to make it look like I'm doing a cheap plug for WWE right here. You know, especially considering I'm doing a show about them. But, you know, if you're going to get the Balor, if you want to get a Balor shirt, I would go with the rainbow one, just because, you know, partial proceeds of it are going to a decent group to help out on stuff like that, so you'd want to check them out on it. But as far as the really, really good start, you know, good start, liked on how it went. You know, big thing I absolutely loved on this is, normally with triple threat matches, and I normally talk about this a lot. Normally with triple threat matches, you know, you'll get like two guys normally carrying the match and the one being the third wheel. All three felt like they all belonged in there. Now I should note also, I'm sorry I didn't mention it, but when Miz came out, he told Bo and Axel to take it in, to go to the back. And that was it. So they did that. So Miz is riding this match on his own. Now, really loved all the action, good action, great, you know, just all around. It was decent. It was good. You know, as far as for the quote main show went, this was good. I liked it. You know, I thought it was pretty decent. Match came to an end. Seth wound up doing a curb stomp onto Finn right after he did the coup de grace on the Miz. And then right after that, right after he did the curb stomp to Finn, Finn rolled off of Miz. Miz rolled over to his belly. And then Seth, boom, Boom! Curb stomp to him. 1, 2, 3. That is it. So Seth is now the Intercontinental Champion and now the newest Grand Slam Champion. And it's already been announced. Miz, Seth, Backlash, title rematch. So yeah. Now that being said, next matchup, women's title match, I should say. Charlotte versus Asuka. At this, oh man, nice, good start, good, solid collar elbow tie up on that. You know, always if you're gonna do a tie up right at the start of the match, I always like to go and see on, tie up normally tells me if it's gonna be a good match or not. This was, it was really good all around. It was like counter for counter, all for the most part. Asuka was working Charlotte's one arm. Charlotte was working Asuka's one knee. At one point, Charlotte pulled out something that's not even normally part of her repertoire, and did a frickin' Spanish fly from the top. Just holy shit nuts! That was awesome. And match came to an end. Charlotte locked in the figure 8. And her one arm, she was selling it good, like she couldn't put any weight down. So while she was stretched and extended like that, she was doing it with one hand. So she was basically like doing like a tripod. Asuka tapped, which case then, big shock, like, wait, what? What? Asuka lost? The streak's done? After that, both girls stood there. Charlotte got her title, Asuka got a mic, and then just looked at Charlotte and said, "You were ready for Asuka," and then left it at that. Beautiful way to leave it. We'll get a match between them two again soon. It's a matter of when, not if. That being said, next up, Fatal 4-Way, sorry I'm talking faster than I'm thinking, for the U.S. title. Bobby Roode versus Rusev versus Jinder versus Randy Orton. And Rusev started off just clearing freaking house, man. Now, there were rumors, and there was rumors going around. I think it was earlier that day or like a day or so beforehand that, and again, take the rumors that go around on the dirt sheets with a grain of salt, but rumors going around that Rusev asked for his release, and, some time ago he was denied it, and I don't know, honestly, I don't think that would be the case because, from all the stories that I've heard from wrestlers, my thing is this. I don't think he would just because I'm not saying I don't think Rusev would. I'm saying I don't think Rusev would have asked for his release and not be given it, Because, the old mantra of, well, if you're not happy, go, leave. Just like with any job. No sense in having an employee that's not happy to be there to work. If they don't want to, now in WWE case, since they're under contract, be like, okay, we can't do it right now, but we'll just say for the sake of argument, if it was true, we can't do it right now, but we'll give it to you. You just got to hold out until X amount of time. That's on how I think that went. But either way, back to the match. Great action. Rusev, he started out good. Really liked it, but more so it seemed more like, to me anyway, the focus was more on Randy and Bobby. And not saying that's a bad thing, but since Jinder won the world title, I've been pushing hard for him, saying, the guy can work. The guy can work. He's earned my respect on that sense of being able to not just come back after being fired, but come back and remake himself and, frickin' go start from shit and work his way back up. And he did that. And also loved on how at one point during the match, Jinder looked at Rusev, hey, come on, you know, me and you, man, we used to be a team. Let's go and double team these guys. And they even acknowledged that on the commentary, which, thank God, they finally brought a sense of continuity and in the past up. But match wound up coming to an end. Jinder hit the Colossus on Rusev. So now Jinder is your United States Champion. And your new United States Champion, I should say. Which case, I am all for. And I even said this a long time back when Jinder first got to be the #1 contender for the WWE title. Guy's going to win it. Once he eventually loses it, he'll get the same kind of run that JBL had. Lo and behold, look and see, he's doing the same kind of bit. Now, he's not obviously going to be doing the whole title length of the reign, probably, but either way, you know, the fact that, you know, they're looking like, well, yeah, you earned this, kid. Go do good. You know, what's that tell you? That being said, next up, we got the mixed tag match of Triple H and Stephanie going against Kurt and Ronda Rousey. And Tripp and Steph came out with a gaggle of women on motorcycles riding in front of them, with Tripp and Steph riding on motorcycles also. Man, Steph did not look like she was comfortable riding on that thing. She didn't look like she was like, I mean, she had that game face on, but you could just tell just by looking in the eyes like, man, she really is nervous about riding this thing. Kurt came out, he had his, you know, Ronda came out, she had small little, like, shorter than the Catholic schoolgirls in the porno kind of kilt size. Or, let me rephrase that. About as short as the girls in the schoolgirl uniforms in a porno size kilt on, with the Rowdy Piper jacket. You know, like that she was doing that to pay homage to Rowdy Piper. I can't knock that. You know, I did Hot Rod myself. True story. After the news broke about Hot Rod's passing, you know, I felt obligated. I needed to do something to honor him. So I bought a kilt. I bought one of his, specifically one of his shirts, the Panther one, you know, and I just rocked the Rowdy Piper bit for a while, and that was it. That was it, plain and simple. Now, that being said, the match goes, you know, right at the start, Steph, she was egging Ronda on, you know, doing all this little stuff to just intimidate her, or not intimidate, I should say, poor choice of words, to egg her on, like I was saying, you know, just to goad her and all that. Tripp and Kurt were starting off the match, really. Kurt, he was working Tripp for a good bit, you know, and then he wound up getting eventually made into the team punching bag. Ronda, she got a hot tag in, and when she did, you know, I'm not going to lie, I was really impressed. I was really impressed with on how Ronda transitioned going into the ring, you know. And my thing was this. I wanted Ronda to look a little bit off, because I wanted her to look like she had a rough time transitioning going from MMA to wrestling. You know, but she really didn't look like she had that much of an issue. And probably the coolest part on this match was the fact that there was actually intergender action going on too. Because while Steph was working with Ronda, Tripp was working with Ronda also. And probably what a lot of people were saying was a huge spot for the night. At one point, Ronda was trying to get Steph in a cross arm breaker. Steph, you know, had her arms locked together to block it. Tripp just came in, boom, rolled on them to stop, break the hold. Steph rolled out the ring, and then Tripp was like, all right, come on. And then Ronda proceeded to start working them like a punching bag, which, way cool, you know. So, you know, just saw action like that, you know. just really good action all around, you know, and not saying Kurt's at anywhere near his prime where he once was, but, you know, if you want to put him in a small little bit like this, yeah, that's great, you know. That being said, match came to an end, very much so kind of like on how I figured it would, you know, with Steph in an arm break, in an arm bar, and Tripp in an ankle lock. They both tapped out. They both, you know, so Kurt and Ronda won. Now, should note that they were selling that Steph was in one of those arm immobilizers for like having a broken arm or bad arm, you know, in one of those kind of bad ways. But she came out on Raw, opening Raw, talking about on how, you know, she didn't, you know, trying to be that whole humbled, but yeah, I brought out the best in Ronda. I did this. You know, yes, you're right, I did tap out and all that jazz. And then called out Ronda, said, you know, tried goading her on, saying on how she put the whole WWE machine behind her and do this, that, and the other with her. And then, just as it looked like, she's like, And then Ronda just grabbed Steph's arm, did a float over into an arm breaker, and just kept it like that for a bit, and then just let go, and then walked off. So, my big question is, where are we going from here with her? Obviously, no, nowhere near a title picture just yet, but where are we going with Ronda from here? That's what I want to know. Anyways, next matchup, triple threat tag team action for the SmackDown tag titles. New Day, they came out with, of all things, well, they first came out with them normal selves, and then props to Xavier Woods because he played because when he had his saxophone, he didn't just play a tune on it, he played the tune. Jason David Frank played on his dagger in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers to summon the Dragon Zord, to summon a gaggle of midgets dressed as pancakes. Only in wrestling can you say something like that and it make perfect sense. Because they all came out, they started throwing out pancakes to the people, and then the midgets proceeded to start breakdancing and doing the worm as they were leaving. That was just great to see. Usos came out, they were in their all whites, and then the Bludgeon Brothers came out, and right at the start, before Harper and Rowan could even get in a ring, you know, right off bat, boom, New Day and Usos tried to take them out. Now, the way it looked like the New Day and the Usos were trying to, you know, work together to keep them out so they could have so that way they could have a match. It did not go that way. Harper and Rowan just pretty much manhandled them all, you know. They were pretty much just clearing house, you know. But they did fight till the bitter end, but the Bludgeon Brothers got the win. They did a sit-out powerbomb on the Kofi, 1, 2, 3. So, Harper and Rowan are now your new SmackDown Tag Team Champions. And next up, I can't believe I actually am even fucking saying this. John Cena came out. He was sitting in the crowd during the pre-show. And at one point during the pre-show, a ref came down, yelled to him, and then Cena, poof, ran off. He came back out, called out Taker one last time, and then lights went out, and you know, I never thought I'd ever say this in my life, but thank God Elias came out. Because Elias, yes, go ahead, yes, you have video proof. I'm actually thankful Elias came out. Elias came out, worked the crowd, and man, if looks could kill, he'd be dead. You know, wound up coming out, talking about on how he's way better shape, ring worker, and all this, that, and the other than The Undertaker. You know, started to do a song, and then after that, Cena proceeded to whoop him. And then Cena walked away. As he did, the lights went off. We heard a gong. We heard the lights. We saw the thunder and the lightning. And then saw Undertaker's stuff in the ring. Lights went off. And then they're gone. Next thing you know, Dead Man comes out. And this was like a 2-minute match. Literally. With... It pains me to say this because it's Undertaker and I've been an Undertaker fan literally my entire life. It was a piss break. That's all it was, plain and simple. It was a piss break. You know, Cena freaking got squashed by Undertaker. That was it. So, yeah. Next up, we got tag team action, though. Shane and Daniel Bryan, which I'm pretty sure the Superdome had to have reinforced the roof for that pop Daniel Bryan got for coming back out, against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Right from the start, Owens and Zayn, they come out of the crowd to attack Shane and Bryan. They start working on them. They focus on Bryan to take him out of the equation. And Shane, for the most part, for like the first portion of the match, is going at it, fighting them both. And Bryan, he comes back in right out of nowhere. But oh my God, man, the pop he got. Fucking A, man, he definitely. Daniel Bryan, definitely. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I was worried about seeing him in there. But he showed me that, you know, he can work. He can be safe. I'm still a little worried, but I'm not as worried as I was. Bryan wound up getting the win for them, doing the running knee and then putting the yes lock on Sami Zayn. So they are out of a job from SmackDown via the stipulation of the match. Next thing you know, they appear on Monday night looking at Kurt like, well, we'd like a job. Kurt says to them, I only have one spot open on Raw. So, you two are going to have to fight each other to see who gets the spot. They proceed to, they have a match which leads to a double countout, so neither of them get a job. We're going to have to see where this goes from here. Moving forward, though, next up, second women's title match. Alexa Bliss descending from the heavens as the goddess as she is, going against the irresistible force, Nia Jax. Nia coming out in her outfit, slaying. Whoo! Oh, doggy! She came out and very much so liked on how this started out because Alexa, she came out with, you know, with my future fourth ex-wife, Mickie James, and you know, she proceeded to beat her like a redheaded stepchild. No offense to any redheads on this that watch this show, and you know, took her out of the equation, which then it was just Nia, she proceeded to just start going after Alexa real quick. Alexa, right out of nowhere though, boom, cut a chop block, hit her in the hit her knee. She started working her one knee, which, you know, really liked seeing that because, you know, and as much as I give Nia credit for, you know, playing her bit, you know, being this giant woman amongst her peers, you know, still, yeah. Take down the giant. How else are you going to take down the giant? Chop down the legs. You know? But Nia wound up coming through. In the end, she won doing a Samoa drop from the second rope. Boom! Slamming Bliss down. 1, 2, 3. That was it. She won. Monday Night Raw proceeded to have Nia going in a tag match against Mickie and Alexa. But who was Nia's partner, you ask? Why, the debuting new Monday Night Raw star, Amber Moon. So Amber is now on Monday Night Raw. Really cool to see. You know, really looking forward to seeing the good action that she could pull off and Really expecting to see a lot of heads explode when people who have not seen NXT see Amber Moon do the total eclipse. And yeah, so now we are on to the next match of the night, which is Shinsuke Nakamura going against Uncle Allen himself, AJ Styles. From the Tokyo Dome to the Superdome, this is what it's led up to. And oh man, I really like this match. You know, real good, tight, snug tie-up right at the start, man. Oh! Now, I'm not saying in any way, shape, or form this was better than their match at Wrestle Kingdom, but this was a damn good match. I absolutely loved it. You know, great back and forth, great psychology with the way these guys work. You know, they know how to work with each other. So yeah, why not? Why wouldn't they? You know, it was a great match. You know, a lot of people are shitting on it because they were expecting something that was going to put their match at Wrestle Kingdom, blow their match at Wrestle Kingdom out of the water. People need to stop having so high expectations on every last little thing they see in wrestling and go in there with a blank mindset of, okay, let me see what you got, and just have that kind of a mindset personally. Now, really good point counterpoint with each other all around. Match came to an end. Shinsuke wound up hitting that reverse exploder. Sizing up Styles, went for the Kinshasa. Styles wound up sliding through, hoisted him up, boom, hit him with the Styles Clash 1, 2, 3. That was it. AJ Styles won, and well, a lot of people were sadly disappointed. I'm not gonna lie, I really thought Nakamura was going to win. I was a little disappointed right up until after the match. Post-match, Nakamura grabbed the title, kneeled down, handed it to Styles. AJ took it, and then next you know, boom! Nakamura hit him with a low blow. Hit him with, next thing you know, once he's outside the ring, hit him with a Kinshasa and walked out. So, basically, Nakamura is going back to chaos, like Nakamura. Okay, now, next matchup, tag match, Cesaro and Sheamus versus Braun Strowman and his partner. And before I get into that, a lot of y'all are probably wondering, well, why are we having this match after Styles and Nakamura? Simple enough. Go back to the old Rock versus Hulk Hogan match at WrestleMania, and then right after that it was Triple H versus Chris Jericho. You had two big main event matches back to back. No. The crowd was so emotionally drained after Rock and Hogan, they weren't able to take Jericho and Tripp. So, have a filler. Have a filler in between. That way, the crowd has time to get out. You know. So, Sheamus and Cesaro, they came out doing a Mardi Gras float, and then Braun came out, destroyed the float, and then said his partner is somebody in the crowd. So he starts literally walking all around the audience and then picks out a 10-year-old kid named Nicholas. The kid looked like he was about ready to piss his pants in fear, which I can't say I'd blame him if I was him, because you're a little 4'something, a little like 4.5, 5'something kid in a ring with 6 and 7 foot monsters with guys who look like they eat sandwiches as big as you. So for the most part, it was Braun just pretty much destroying both Sheamus and Cesaro. And, you know, that was pretty much it. Braun got the running power slam, or not running power slam, but he did the power slam on Cesaro, 1, 2, 3, that was it. So Braun and Nicholas won. The following night on Raw, though, they were forced to vacate the tag titles because Nicholas is still in school. guarantee though, this kid has got a fucking story for the next 10 years to get mad cool points. Saying, I was a fucking tag champ, man. I was a fucking wrestling champion before I even graduated high school. What the fuck were you doing? You know, the kid's got those kind of points. But anyways, they vacated them, so they're doing a tag team style, like, little tournament for it. And the one team in it, said I'd talk about it later, I'm talking about it now, Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt, so they are in it. And Matt is once again in his expedition for gold. Matt, you're not getting this though, I'll tell you that now. So, we come to the main event of the night. Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar. This, man, I can't even say it had a fight, big fight feel. This just had a straight up fucking fight to it. It was like a good brawling feel to it, you know. Brock, for the most part, he was leading the match, you know. He was leading the match, and it was just boom, just taking it to Roman. Roman, he fought as good as he could, but Brock was throwing out F5s at him and suplexes like crazy. I think the total count for suplexes, I believe it was at about 8, maybe 9. And yeah, but the one part that definitely was a shocker was when Brock, he took off the gloves, he started pounding Roman. Roman caught a gash right up here. And not just one of those like small little like cuts where, you know, trickle of blood pour down. Like that, He got the crimson mask. He got a crimson mask. That got him into beast mode. He proceeded to throw out shots, started to build a comeback, and then, just as he was about to bounce off the rope to hit a spear, Brock caught him, hit him with an F5. That was the 6th F5. 1, 2, 3. That was it. Your reigning, defending, and still Universal Champion, Brock Lesnar. News broke earlier in the day, that Monday, that Brock re-signed with the company and will be defending his title against Roman in a steel cage match at the Greatest Rumble in Saudi Arabia. And that Monday night, Roman, he just looked beaten, spent, broken. You know, talked about on how he got his ass kicked and on how, yeah, he's man enough to admit he got his ass kicked, but Brock isn't here, and he's pissed off because he found out he's getting that match and Brock re-signed when everyone else did, the fans. Which case, then after that, Samoa Joe came back and cut a promo on him, saying, you know, pretty much cutting Roman too short to shit, saying, you let yourself down. You let your fans down because you talked about on how you were going to beat him. You were going to destroy him, and you didn't. So, Roman, after you're done with Brock, I'm coming for you at Fastlane. I left it at that. So, yeah. So that is it for this week's show, folks. So do not forget, excuse me, do not forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch some of the other episodes. Make sure y'all look for me on my Twitter at TimVicious. Also do have another account, Tim_Vicious. And I'm also on that Facebook gimmick, Tim Ash. Make sure y'all let me know you found me on there from here, so I don't think you got your creep drum going. Also, make sure you look at the information down below for the Dad Show, Lifestyle Podcast, Storytelling Podcast, whatever kind of podcast you really want to see it as. New episodes are coming out soon, no matter when, not if. Also, folks, do not forget to follow all of these cool-ass cats right here on Twitter. Axel Morgan, make sure you check out Axel's newest project, Wrestling Review. They talk about British and European wrestling. Kenny Killer, my two co-hosts for the Dad Show. I am Davey Sunday and Oliver Ben. Ollie's also one of the executive producers for this show. Make sure y'all check out his music. It's on iTunes, Spotify, and such. He did provide music for this week's show as well. Also, hit the man up for one of these Ollie Rewind shirts. Show the man some love and support. Cranky excuse me, Cranky Grandpa, and underscore Deborah, and Daddy MWP, and folks, like always, Tim, you know you great, you hate me. Fuck you.